Assembly, honorable ministers, and the chairman of the occasion, Dr. Wenya Onu, our host, Chief Bisi Akande, Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, party chieftains, traditional rulers. This is not the first publication by this distinguished public figure, but this is the authoritative account of his life and times. My being here, therefore, is more than a pleasure. It is a duty. Chief Bisi Akande is, by common consent, a decent, truthful, friendly person. He is a public servant by choice and an administrator of the first order. My first personal contact with Chief Akande was, if I recall correctly, in 2006, when a preliminary consultations were coming to fruition for a grand coalition to unseat the PDP government. Those efforts eventually came to nothing. Neither he nor I, nor many of our friends and associates gave up, as in Chief Akande's words, the country was going down and down under PDP, page 396 of my participations. Bisi Akande had risen to prominence from his participation in the Constituent Assembly established by General Olusegun Obasanjo's military government. He was always, excuse me, he was always in the thick of things through the difficulties and political discontinuities of the 1980s and 1990s. He emerged as governor of Ocean State in 1999 when the military handed over to the civilians. Chief Akande had a horrendous baptism as governor of Ocean State, with discord from his own party. His state assembly, including an attempt to impeach him without any reason whatsoever, from the trade unions and from his own deputy governor. On top of that, he inherited a deeply indebted treasury, huge areas of salary, allowances, and pensions, enough challenges to overwhelm many an aspiring leader. Bisi Akande stood four square and faced all the challenges head-on and overcame most of them. His first action was to stop payment of critical allowances, a euphemism for government money customarily shared by the big boys in Ocean State. This set the tone of his administration. Within 1 year, he had paid off all the salary and other areas, proof of a competent and serious administrator. By 2003, Chief Akande had virtually sanitized governance in Ocean State, having cleared some of the troublemakers from his government. And though reluctant to serve a second term, he was persuaded to run again in 2003. It is common knowledge that Akande was the victim, along with other AD governors, of a diabolical double cross. Yes, a diabolical double cross, which ended his gubernatorial career. Only the steadfast Aswaju Bola Tinubu escaped the electoral massacre. Only the steadfast Asuwaju Bola Tinubu escaped the electoral massacre masterminded by President Obasanjo. Desperately disappointed though he was, and being a good Muslim, he accepted this setback as part of the trials of life. He looked to the future of service to the country. Chief Akande was in the thick of further attempts in 2011 and 2014 to fuse together different groups and dislodge PDP from governance. The key to thinking, which coincides with mine, is that Nigeria can only be successfully managed by alliances between major groups. Although we failed in 2011, by persistence and knowledge that PDP was driving the country towards disaster, several major parties were able to finally coalesce into APC in 2014. Chief Akande was unanimously chosen as the first chairman of this great coalition. Throughout the difficult negotiations, I found Akande truthful, steady, and always an eye to the ultimate goal. In or out of office, he has trained his inflexible integrity. On page 400 of his book, he wrote, and I quote, "I never gave to or demanded bribe from anyone all my life," unquote. A perfect gentleman, a perfect public officer. There is a famous Hausa saying, I quote, "Labarin zuciya a tambayi fuska." Loosely translated, it means, if you want to know what is in a man's heart, watch his face. Akande has a permanent smile on his face. He is the type I would go into the jungle with. This book is a historical document. Students will find this an invaluable source of Nigeria's politics, notably between 1999 and 2020. I recommend this book to students and the general public. Thank you, and may God bless Bisi Akande, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.